Okay, here we go with this kind of fun but different pose. Lots of different angles going on here. So I'm going to start with that head at the top of the paper. This time I need to put it on a little bit of a slant. So I'm going to make it like a little guideline first and then draw my oval using that guide. Okay. Actually, it should be more like that because I think there's all kinds of curving going on here. Her torso is tilted back. So we are going to take our friend the scrap paper, measure that head, and count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1.5, 4.25 ish. Your lines do not have to be perfectly straight. I know some of you like them that way. Have at it. Definitely don't have to draw as dark, and it's a good idea not to. All right, step 2, label. Whoopsies. Shoulder, 1.5. 2, armpit. 3, waist, elbow. 4, hip. 4.25, crotch and wrist. 6, thigh area. 6, knee. 5, thigh area. Ankle, somewhere in that vicinity. Step 3, I think, whatever, analyze the pose. So neck is coming at this angle. Torso, hip are shooting out at this angle. She is absolutely tilting backwards. The spine is curved, and you can see a lot of side body because she's tilting back. She's tilting, she's twisting. There's a lot of information to be had there. Check your negative space. Always, always, always check your negative space. If you can see any direct relationships between body parts, find them. Right? So like just becomes like a big geometry problem, basically. All right, so, and again, this is learning. This is not trying to make a beautiful drawing. So neck to 1.5. Kind of want to see where her crotch is lining up with her head, which I didn't do before, because that might really help. So if the crotch is lining up with the head like here, okay, then I know I have to go there. Something like that, because if I put a line straight up from her crotch, it's lining up with the edge of her face. So I want to have them line up on the paper too. So again, this is not going to be this like pretty little drawing because there's too much to figure out. There's too much to think about. If you can go and draw it, then good for you. But I can't. And I like the process of figuring it out. So arrow on that curve, right? The length of the head was for length of the body. Width of the head is for width of the body. Shoulders are 2 heads wide. Hips are 2 heads wide. And even though she's turned and all kinds of stuff is going on, we're still going to put that indicator on there, and we are going to put it on the axis. All right. Her shoulders are going up a little bit this way, kind of, sort of, but also tilting back at the same time. So there's so much happening there. And the hips are tilting. So then, I was trying to avoid that. I'm going to go ahead and draw this torso line very lightly, but it's absolutely going to change a lot because of all that side body information in there. Right, so I'm going to kind of fill in the neck to the 1.5 curve, looking at that negative space, giving me a lot of intel. So on the right hand side, she's tilting back. Like I really want to think about the fact she's tilting back. That's why I'm kind of making those curved lines, and I'm gonna really draw with kind of more with shape than line right now because I'm too confused, honestly, to put a line in there. Like, I'm really just trying to find the form. 1, 2, 3. And don't try to wing the head count without measuring. It doesn't end well, you know. Honestly, been doing this for so long that I can kind of take one look at a paper and know where your head count went wrong. All right, so just kind of shade, or not, but just kind of really try to feel out what's happening there. Um, this is the weight-bearing leg. So I'm going to drop that line down to the 8. The knee is going to be in the 6 area somewhere. This leg, you really got to think about bones. Sorry about that. So it's something like that, something like that. The feet pretty much line up. So I think that's ankle. This is the leg she could just haul off and kick you with. All right. So then this hip is really jutting out. Thigh tapering to knee tapering to ankle, footy foot. And I'm keeping this real sketchy because, again, there's a lot to figure out here. Thigh, knee, calf, foot. Okay. I feel like all this looks too long, and I don't like her torso. To me looks really long right now. I'm not sure why, but I just gotta roll with it. Because again, even if it winds up being a little wacky, as long as you know where you went wrong, that's what's important. So side body, armpit, shoulder. So this one is pretty much at the 1.5, and then this one is coming up above the shoulder line. And then I know that her foot and her elbow line up, so I can kind of take that measurement. I can also do this, shoulder to waist. Hell, look at that. That's kind of thrilling. And her elbow is lining up with her forehead, so right about there. Right? So kind of like a dot to dot thing. Like, where does one thing relate to the other? And then I'm looking at that negative space to try to figure out the bend. Her hand is actually in her hair, so it's going to come out here a little bit. It's going to be something like that. And you don't have to get totally crazy about it. Just kind of check out your negative space, see if they're close shape-wise, and then just kind of run with it. These should be messy drawings. You should be drawing lightly. It wouldn't hurt to do what I'm doing, which is kind of draw with the side of your pencil. You're looking for motion, you're looking for relationships, you're looking for how the proportions work together. You're thinking, dear God, I did not sign up for this, but actually you did, right? So kind of coming out at that angle. And so I definitely have to take this measurement right now from like shoulder waist, shoulder to waist. I'm going to spin that up. It's going to be about there. And it kind of lines up with her chest. So that's her forearm. This is going to be hand. That's going to come down. I'm kind of drawing the negative space right now. There's some overlap happening there. Your hand kind of does that sort of thing. Shoulder, forearm, or actually bicep, forearm. Yeah, she's my favorite model. She's a good time. That's about it. Look at the negative space. Look at the angles. Look at the relationships from one body part to another. And just kind of like, you're kind of seeking information anywhere that you can find it.